Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. A special warm welcome if you're brand new here. My name's KiwiSimsKate. Kiwi because I'm from New Zealand, Sims because I love the Sims, and Kate because that's my name. It's as simple as that. First off, in this video, I just want to give a big thank you to EA and the Sims team for having me as an EA affiliate. Recently, I was given the opportunity to become an EA affiliate, which effectively means that if you wish, you can use my creator code when you're purchasing The Sims 4 content, either through the EA app or on thesims.com, and by using my specific code you're directly supporting me as a creator. So it's absolutely no obligation to use it, completely optional. Unfortunately, it's not a discount code, it's purely a code that supports me with a small commission from any purchase that uses my code. So I'll put the details down in the description. It's just KiwiSimsKate. If you use that at the checkout, I receive a small commission on the purchase. So thank you to EA and The Sims for that. So back to the video today. Thanks for joining me. Welcome to another speed build. Today I am bringing you a build that I completed a while ago, and this is another one. And again, if you've been with our channel for a while, you know that I've built in the past for the Gshade Hollow save files, and this is another build that is part of that save file. So this is, and of course, their dog, who is absolutely adorable. And I'll just quickly read you the Sims wiki page on the Hecking household. They are a pre-made family residing in Brindleton Bay, the world introduced in The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs. This household consists of the married couple Brent and Brant, or Brant, I guess, if you're American. I don't know. I want to say Brant, but I suppose it's Brant. I don't know. Brent and Brant Hecking and their dog Rosie. They live in the It's a Good House lot, and they start off with 30,522 simoleons. So that's just the little blurb that came, that's on the sims.fandom.com. They are such an adorable couple. Their dog is adorable. Rosie is like a French bulldog, I think. And they live on this lot here in Brindleton Bay, which is called It's a Good House. So I have remodeled their house. I've also done a kind of overhaul of the Hecking household. So I've updated them slightly. And I've called this house It's a Great House. So just a little bit of a spin on the original. And I wanted to keep this home fairly true to its original style. So it's not hugely different from the house that they live in when you get the Cats and Dogs expansion pack, but just a little enhanced, if I do say so myself. A little bigger, there's a bit more space inside whilst not being too empty. I feel like often, for very good reason, the pre-made homes are fairly empty, and if you didn't know already, that is usually to allow simmers of kind of any kind of device or computer to be able to play, makes sure that the frame rate doesn't spin out of control. Too many objects and things can really make your game run a bit sluggish. So generally pre-made homes are they're, let's say, simple, but not necessarily in a bad way. So definitely put a bit more life into this home, a few more characteristics to it, and just generally, gave it a bit of an overhaul into something that's a little bit more my style. And I am building this as part of the Gshade Hollow save, so you may know that I have built for that a group before. Gshade Hollow is a Discord server who are a community of gamers, I guess I would describe it. Not only simmers, there are people there who play all sorts of games, but one section of the Discord is dedicated to simmers, and we go through the worlds and we rebuild the Sims homes and add homes or lots, buildings into the empty lots as well. So we've been through quite a few of the worlds so far. Currently, I think I'm working on one that should probably be due soon, I think. What's the world that I'm working on right now? I actually haven't started the next one, so this is a good reminder for me to get my act together and get started. Oh, that's right. It's Strangerville, I think. Yes, I'm doing a household overhaul for the world of Strangerville, so keep an eye out for that release. But if you want to get any of the save files that they've produced, then I will link that down below in the description. They're definitely worth checking out. Amazing creators that work on them. We've got builders, we've got CAS creators, story builders. Yeah, there's some really amazing simmers in those groups, and different people contribute in each of the save files, and they've split it up into the different worlds. So depending on what content you might own for the game, you can just pick and choose which worlds work best for you. What they also do, which I really like and appreciate, is that every time we do a new save file, it's only a limited number of packs, so we don't just use everything. And again, that's just for accessibility, so that gamers, simmers, don't have to own everything in order to get these save files. So this one here, Brindleton Bay, I will give you the list of the packs that are included. I'll also list it below if you'd rather just read it. We have used base game, obviously, Cats and Dogs, which is the pack that Brindleton Bay came with, Seasons, Parenthood, My First Pet's stuff, Kids Room, I think it's called Kids Room stuff, Nifty Knitting stuff, Greenhouse Haven kit, and the Book Nook kit. That's right, yeah. So those are how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 additional packs on top of base game that we've used. So if you've got all of those, then you shouldn't have any problem with these items showing up in your game if you do want to download it. And speaking of being able to access this, so if you just want my build here, it's a great house, the Hecking household. You can download this from my gallery. KiwiSimsKate is my EA ID, so you can just find it there as an individual lot. You can also find my makeover, I guess you call it, of the Hecking household. So that's Brant and Brent Hecking and their dog Rosie. That's also available just on my personal EA gallery page. But if you want the whole Brindleton Bay save file, you can access that through the Shedford Hollow website, and the link is below. And feel free to comment if you've got any other questions, or if you have trouble finding anything. I'm more than happy to help with that. Right, so I will switch now. That's kind of a bit of a background. Switch now to talking about this build. I almost forgot to upload this build. This was actually built quite some time ago now. This is becoming a bit of a theme of mine. I think the last speed build I released was another older build, but I've not had a ton of time recently to get into the game to really spend a lot of time building. If you join me over on Twitch, where I live stream each week, you probably know why. Started a new job this year, so I've been really busy with that, and it definitely proves challenging with my content creation. So I am doing the best I can, but it means that I definitely don't have as much time as I would like to dedicate to my content, but I am still making content. It's not quite as consistent as maybe it used to be. but still very much having a great time doing so. So this house here, as I said, I wanted to make it quite spacious. It's not super cluttered like some of my builds are. I wanted it to be quite airy, light, easy for the whole household to get around. I assume Brant and Brent are fairly well off. Like, they've both got decent jobs, I think. And I mean, they already have this home, plus they start with, over 30,000 simoleons, which is quite good for a starter household, for just 2 Sims. And they, what are their likes and dislikes? Like, I know that they like painting. One of them paints, or one of them has a painting skill, because upstairs I go in near the end, and because I forgot to put an easel in here in the household, so I add that in a little bit later. But I imagine they are doing quite well for themselves. They've got good jobs, and they are, they're doing okay, so they can afford this kind of larger house in Brindleton Bay. So I wanted to give them this grand fireplace in this living room. The living room I really love. It might be my favorite. Maybe the living room, and actually I like their bedroom too. I like all of the rooms in this house, actually. Yeah, I do. I like them all. I think this build, I'm gonna big up my own build here. I think this is a really playable home because there's plenty of space. There's enough decor to keep it interesting, but there's also plenty of space for you to add your own little quirks, and there's loads of kind of walkway space for your Sims to get around, so you shouldn't have any problems with access, and any kind of routing issues. All of my builds are play tested, so there shouldn't be any problems. I have made sure everything works. And yeah, I think it's a nice playable family home. The only thing is that it does have 1 bedroom. So because there's only 1 couple that live here, I decided to make a large home, but just give them 1 bedroom. I didn't think they really needed an additional one. Upstairs there is there's an office, and there's a space that's kind of just like a piano room almost. So you could always shift the floor plan around a little bit, add in probably 2, maybe even 3 more bedrooms, because there's also a garage that, we don't really have functional garages in The Sims, so you could make the garage into a bedroom as well if you wanted. What I did with the garage was make it into sort of a gym space for them. I kind of imagine these two maybe working out together, or maybe one of them's more of a gym bunny than the other. Maybe one of them prefers to go outside and walk the dog on the beach or something, and the other one likes to stay at home and, do some quite intense sets on the weight machine or something like that. And then upstairs I also included a small little kind of seating area in this curved space up on the landing just above the stairs. That curved room area proved so difficult. I had so many issues with it, which, if you've ever used the curved wall feature in The Sims, oh god, it's great, but it also is so frustrating because it doesn't quite work how it should. There's a lot of restrictions. There's a lot of kind of weird clipping that goes on with it. The windows, you're really restricted with which windows you can use on the curved walls, and even the ones that's supposed to work are not amazing either, but we do what we can. So I really like how it turned out. If you go into sort of tab mode inside the room, you can see some of the roof pieces sticking through. I managed to avoid them when I took the screenshots because I didn't like the look of them, but yeah, you may notice that. It's just unfortunately what I had to put up with the curved room. But I was determined to use that curve wall. I think it really suits the style of architecture and home. Yeah, so I just dealt with it. Downstairs, I've basically done the kitchen. It's a really large kitchen. It's got a big island in the center, and then the dining room's kind of tucked around the corner. And through the dining room, you get internal access to the garage as well. I really like the dining room. It's quite simple, but I love the colors I chose. Through this whole house, I used a lot of what I guess I would class as sort of autumn colors, or fall if you're American. So lots of rich oranges and browns, dark blues, but then mixed with some of these lighter wood tones. So downstairs here you've got the kind of whitewashed wooden wainscoting, these lighter floors, this peach tone on the walls as well. And then the kitchen is the opposite, and it's quite dark. There's lots of dark tiles. There's the Parenthood tile, which I adore. So yeah, I went for that sort of a color scheme through the whole home, and I really love it. It feels very Brindleton Bay to me. It feels quite maybe East Coast, United States, sort of New England, which I believe is the sort of area that Brindleton Bay is modeled after or inspired by, that kind of New England, northeast of the States. Somewhere I've never traveled to, but I'd really love to go one day, and I hear it's really beautiful in autumn, so one day I'll go on a road trip around that area. If you're from there, let me know. I know at least a couple of simmers, quite well-known simmers, who I think are from that area. Yeah, I also just love that area because of Gilmore Girls, which I was a big fan of as a teen. So now I'm moving upstairs. Oh, and I used some of this brick throughout the house. So I used it in the living area by the on the wall that the fireplace is on, and then I use it up the side of the stair as well. When you get kind of a multi-level section where you can see 2 levels of a building in The Sims, and you try and use anything that has kind of a panel to the wallpaper, like this wainscoting, it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't look very good when you can see where the wallpaper stops or the paint stops and then the next set of wainscoting starts again. That's a real pet peeve. I hate that. So I changed my mind there. I instead used the same brick but in a different color. So I went for kind of like a painted white brick up the side of the stairs, and then that just removes that annoying bit where it kind of doesn't look very realistic. In real life, you probably wouldn't do that and have a section of wainscoting halfway up a wall. It's just kind of weird. Then I'm just adding in a few extra windows upstairs until I'd kind of decided where things were going to go upstairs. I didn't really know where I wanted to put the windows. So now that I'm getting a bit of an idea where I want to put different rooms, I'm adding a few extra windows just to add in a bit more light to the space, and putting a bit of trim around the outside walls as well. I love this bedroom here because it's got this really cute sort of enclosed balcony. So the balcony has a roof, but it also has this cute sort of half wall fencing around it. So I guess it looks like it would be quite protected from the elements. I reckon you could sit out there on kind of a chilly morning or evening and it would still be, you'd still be protected from the elements. A nice place to have a little glass of wine at the end of the night or a coffee in the morning, maybe do a crossword or just chat in that little seating area. And that's also the balcony where I end up putting an easel for one of them. I can't remember which one, but one of them, one of the Heckings, they paint. So I put their easel out there because in the office space, I tried to create the office space for both of them. So that's more of like a reading library office space, but you'll see it soon. I put some kind of painting decorative items in there as well, so they're not usable, but they're just there for looks, for the vibes. Upstairs we have a small bathroom. There's also a bathroom downstairs. Did I talk over furnishing the downstairs bathroom? I can't even remember. I don't know. Sometimes I cut my bathrooms out of my speed builds just to save on a bit of time, and unless I'm like super proud of the bathroom, they kind of look more or less the same as like all my bathrooms I ever do. So that's a challenge I am presenting to myself, is getting better at doing more creative, unique bathrooms, and stop being a creature of habit. So I'm making my way there. This is the rounded wall room that I was talking about. So it's at the top of the stairs. There's this little space that I was sort of really not sure what to do with, and then I thought I'll just make a little seating area. It's kind of another nice space to sit, maybe at the end of the day, or I don't know. It was space. I needed to fill it up, so I put some chairs. Basically, that's all it is. There wasn't any great thinking that went into this, but I like it. I really like the color scheme I went with in this space. That green and black and beige seating set that came with seasons, along with some of the stuff from the book Nook kit, and then I found these green, I think they're base game curtains maybe, which worked really well with the seats. So and also that rug that has an almost green, sage green color to it as well, I thought worked really well. I thought the space turned out quite nicely, decorated fairly simply. And then I just put a big mirror up there as well. You would have just seen me use the tool mod. So if you're unfamiliar with the tool mod, or if maybe you're a bit, you're not very mod savvy, or you're concerned that if you download this, something will not appear correctly in your game, don't worry. The tool mod is purely a tool for builders, mostly, I believe, and it just allows me to place things in areas, or size things up or down, or manipulate objects when building. But once that's done, if you download this build, you shouldn't have any problems. So it will just appear as if the object was always meant to be like that. So I don't know if that's a really complicated way of saying that, but don't worry. You don't need, what I'm trying to say is you don't need the mod to get this build. You can have the build without the mod. So now I'm moving on to the bedroom, and it's really large and spacious. I would love to have a bedroom this large. My bedroom at the moment is not big enough. We have a double wardrobe with doors that sort of like open out. They're not sliding doors for the wardrobe. And that poses a problem because it means that we need to allow enough space to be able to open the doors to get into our wardrobe. And we've got a queen size bed and two really small side tables on either side of the bed, and that is at an inside. So Our bedroom's so small that we had to put our chest of drawers inside the double wardrobe. And luckily there's plenty of space inside the wardrobe. But that's all we have on the floor of our room is the bed and 2 small bedside tables. One day, it's my dream to have a bedroom where there's that much space that we can just have additional furniture. What a dream that would be. Anyway, so the bedroom's done. I also added a few little decorations in that sort of extra hallway bit by the upstairs bathroom. A few more decorations in the hallway here. I loved using the cats and dogs items. I mean, cats and dogs, seasons, they work so well together. And Parenthood, these are some of my favorite packs for build buy items. I really rate them. So this build came together pretty easily, to be honest. It's a lot of my favorite kinds of items. I didn't have too much trouble matching things. They all went well together. That's another thing about the save files, is that when the team who organize it decide on the list of packs that they're going to include for the world, they consider that. They consider, okay, so what packs are going to be quite consistent together and look good together when you build. And it's really helpful as a builder to have that, have some cohesive options rather than, 5 packs that just look terrible together or just don't have any relation to each other. That would be quite frustrating. So here is the downstairs bathroom. Okay, so I hadn't skipped over the downstairs bathroom, turns out. It's pretty basic. It's kind of the same as the upstairs bathroom. I pull over quite a few of the same objects. In fact, I just copy them over. And then I think, do I make this room slightly smaller? I can't remember if I do. Sometimes a larger bathroom is harder to furnish than a smaller bathroom for me, because I just think that all that empty space looks kind of strange. But I think I make it work here. I put some kind of double towel rack and a few extra decorations. I also, I put that big grand piano upstairs. You would have seen that's that kind of piano space that I mentioned earlier as well. Then I move, I think this might be, other than the garage, this is the last room that I furnished. So this is the study, library, art space, kind of hobby room in the house, which I love. I would love a room like this. Again, I adore the color scheme that I went with. I chose blues, grays, and kind of browns, I guess. Blue, gray, and brown. A bit of beige as well. A little bit of yellow. Yeah, I guess there's a few colors in here, but I thought it went really well together. I sort of started with the carpet, this rug that I placed. Gorgeous tones. That's the brown, the blue, the beige, and kind of grey blue as well. Very Brindleton Bay. Love it, adore it. And then this is where I grab out a few decorative items for, so it looks like, this family appreciates art, makes their own art, etc. And then of course another dog bed. So I've got some dog beds throughout the house, so little Rosie can sleep wherever her parents are. If they're watching TV in the living room, she can go down there. If they're asleep, she can be up in their bedroom, or if they're working on the computer, she can hang out with them up there as well. So there's a few options. Then I move on to the landscaping and or do I go straight to the garage? I might go straight to the garage possibly. I wanted to keep a little bit of space still in here. I didn't want to clutter the garage up too much. But I did put a bit of workout equipment in here. I figure the two of them, maybe they work out together sometimes when they've got a bit of time between work and other hobbies and things. So I thought maybe they'd be into a little bit of sports, not heavily, but enough that maybe they're more like collectors of sports items than actually really that into the sport. You know how some people are a bit like that. They're all about the culture around the sport more than actually the sport themselves. So they've got a couple of kind of collector's item football jerseys up there, a little bit of sort of tools and equipment in here that maybe they use to renovate the house if they want to do things up or adjust some of the rooms. I think they're probably quite into their DIY, and they're kind of playing around with bits and pieces in the house and home improvement, that kind of thing. I think that this is probably their forever home. So they've found a perfect spot, a perfect town. They've got great neighbors. There's plenty of space for the house to grow, if they ever wanted children or more dogs or more pets in general. There's lots of space here. They could even make the house bigger if they wanted. I think that they are quite into DIY and home improvement, and they're super house proud Sims. I've got a few decorations that I'm adding here just around the exterior of the home. So I put in a few lights for nighttime when it gets dark, a little seating area in the front. I just love the idea of a front porch with a cute place to sit and drink your morning coffee and just watch the neighbors head off to work or something. I imagine this town is almost that kind of movie style friendly suburb where everyone knows each other. Everyone pretty much gets along. Maybe there's a couple of kind of nosier neighbors, but for the most part, all the people are really lovely. There's lots of families around, lots of people with pets. They really lucked out with this lot and this home, and really enjoy their home time and hanging out with people in the neighborhood as well. Then I move on to some landscaping, and as usual I use a mixture of quite a few of the debug and live edit plants just to save a bit of cash, but because this isn't a starter home or anything, I wasn't specifically trying to find the free plants. In hindsight, I probably should have, because there's a lot of plants in debug and live edit that I think there are some that are better than the ones that you pay for. And then there's also a lot of duplicates. So a lot of the ones that you actually have to spend money for, you can find the same thing but for 0 simoleons. Just don't get caught out like I did recently. I recently built a starter home, and I realized that some of the rocks that are labeled as debug, they actually cost me 4 simoleons each, and I was really trying to save my pennies. So I was trying to find where I could save some money, and then I clicked on these rocks and realized they cost 4 simoleons each, and I was shooketh. So needless to say, I deleted those. There are definitely free rocks you can use though, so I think I swapped them out for something else that didn't cost me any money. I'm really happy with the landscaping. I went for kind of a bit of just some random trees on the exterior, and then I only fenced in the back kind of patio section. So there's loads more room on this lot if you want to add anything to this build. There's tons of space if you want to put like a detached garage, and maybe you could turn the current garage into another type of room, a bedroom or something similar. The backyard, I didn't feel like they needed that much space just for the two of them and one dog. So I I kind of see them as people who really enjoy hosting parties and maybe pool parties and dinner parties in the summertime. So maybe they invite their neighbors around, and everyone comes around and has food, brings a plate or something back here. So yeah, I have this fenced in area where they can, maybe their neighbors bring their kids and things, so it's a little bit safer for them. And there's a pool, there's a dining table with plenty of chairs around it. There's also, I used one of the gazebos back here as well for a bit of shade. And there's a few different options for places for your Sims to sit and hang out. They can lounge by the pool on the pool lounges. They can sit at the dining table, and then, as I said, there's also a little seating area that I think I'm just about to put in here, with some sofas, so it's a bit more relaxed. Maybe they move there after dinner or something. And of course, a barbecue or grill, if you might call it that. I love these sofas. These sofas are from the book Nook kit, if you weren't aware or if you're wondering. They look so plush. I love the cushions on them. And then the table item on the coffee table there is also from the book Nook kit, which is now one of my favorite pieces of clutter that we have in the game. Of course, I had to add some additional toys and objects for little Rosie. So she's got a water bowl out here and a toy box. And then I think these planters that I'm placing are live edit objects as well, so they didn't cost anything. And then just finishing off with a bit of greenery around to cover those edges of the fencing, which I'm not a huge fan of. I also decided that I wanted this paved path that goes from the patio, the back patio, to the like where the driveway is. Screenshots are coming up shortly, so if you want to download the build, my gallery ID is KiwiSimsKate. You can find this build there and also in the Shedford Hollow save file, which I will link down below in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Both of those things really help to support the channel. And as I said at the start, I am now an EA affiliate, and if you would like to support me further, you can use my code KiwiSimsKate in the checkout when you purchase any Sims 4 content on either the EA app or thesims.com. A small percentage will go to me, and it won't cost you any extra when you're using that code. You can also follow me over on twitch.tv/KiwiSimsKate. I stream there live. We play a lot of The Sims. So thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Take care out there. Bye. Bye.